They said it would never happen. For 30 years, Morgan Creek was the untouchable sanctuary of South Surrey. The land, the half-acre estates, cedar shake roofs, and total seclusion. But that era is officially coming to an end. Right now, a plan for the first ever apartment buildings and a massive townhome expansion has just cleared a major hurdle at City Hall. It's creating a massive divide in the community. On one side, you have neighbors worried about traffic and the Grandviewification of these quiet streets. On the other hand, you have longtime residents who are desperate for a way to stay in the community they love, but without the burden of a 4,000 square foot house. Whether you're worried about your property value or you've just been waiting for a reason to finally downsize, you cannot afford to ignore this. This isn't just another development. It is the final residential phase of the Morgan Creek Master Plan. Today, I'm taking you inside the Infinity's Properties proposal. I'm breaking down exactly how it differs from the old guard classics like Deer Run, and I'll explain why this shakeup is the most important and significant real estate event in South Surrey over this decade. You only get one chance to buy or sell your next home. Let's get it right. Hey, worth mentioning, my name is Darren, a real estate professional based right here in White Rock and South Surrey area. And I've been helping families buy and sell here since all the way back to 2007. I've worked with hundreds and hundreds of people over the years, many of whom found me right here on this very YouTube channel. So if you're thinking about making a move and want some smart local advice, zero pressure, just real insight, there's a link in the description of this video to book a time with me or my team. And together we'll help you make the right move with confidence. To understand why this is such a big deal, you have to understand the legacy of this land. Originally homesteaded back in 1885 by the Morgan family, this area spent over a century as a quiet farmland before it was transformed in the mid-90s and building started in the early 2000s. The vision back then was bold, a world-class master-planned golf community centered around the Thomas McBroom designed course. It was meant to be a place where executive homes and manicured fairways offered a level of seclusion you just couldn't find anywhere else. Now, since then, Morgan Creek has become synonymous with luxury. When you drive these streets, you see a level of detail that is rare. The mature landscaping, the wide, pristine boulevards, and those impressive custom estates. It's a neighborhood where the pride of ownership is visible on every corner. And for 30 years, this community has strictly followed a low-density blueprint. That's exactly why the introduction of the first ever apartment buildings on this final 10-acre parcel is such a historic turning point. That project itself is tucked away from all the business and congestion in the rest of South Surrey. While the rest of the city is feeling more crowded, this site just off 32nd Avenue and 160th manages to feel like a hidden pocket shielded by the golf course. Now, let's look at the numbers. We're talking about 82 townhomes and 119 condos. If you're familiar with the Deer Run complex, you know those homes are massive, traditional, and very much defined by a certain era. This new phase is quite different. It's modern, it's West Coast. The townhomes will range from 2,200 square feet to 3,400 square feet, featuring master on the main layouts specifically for people who want to age in place. And then there are the condos. This is the first and only apartment building ever allowed inside the Morgan Creek community. These aren't typical condos either. The average unit size is nearly 1,000 square feet with a focus on functional 3-bedroom plans. To make it feel like a true resort, Infinity has planned a massive 3-level amenity building with a fitness center, a billiards room, and even a cigar lounge and cold plunge pools. Now, I have to address the elephant in the room. But before I do that, if you're planning to buy a home this year, there's actually free money available. We're talking about municipal, provincial, and federal incentives, whether you're buying, renovating, or just trying to tap into the programs that most people don't even know exist. We've pulled together everything we could find: links, quick summaries, and key details all in one place, so you can make sure you're not leaving any money on the table. You'll find the link to access everything in the description of this video below. It's totally free, super easy to use, and is definitely worth checking out. All right, let's get back to the video. Okay, so what is the elephant? This project hasn't had a smooth ride. Over the last few years, we've seen significant pushback, including a petition with hundreds of signatures calling on the city to shut it down. The concerns were loud and clear. Traffic, the loss of trees, and the shift away from the cedar shake only tradition. In fact, the opposition was so strong at one point that the project was sent back to the drawing board several times. But instead of walking away, the developers hosted 10 voluntary open houses and shared countless coffees with neighbors to adapt the plan. And recently, Surrey Council voted unanimously to move this forward. That vote was the third reading. And for those who aren't familiar with the process, that is the final approval in principle. It means the debate is over and the city has officially given the green light to the density and design. Once the final technicalities are sorted out, we're looking at shovels in the ground. Council approved it because they recognized a different kind of urgency. For every neighbor worried about a roof line, there's another founding resident of Morgan Creek who is desperate for a way to stay. These are the legacy owners. They don't want to leave their friends or their golf club just because they can't manage a massive, expensive estate anymore. This project is the city's answer to that. But here's the reality check most people are missing. While many are focused on this one project, the truth is that the single-family landscape changed for everyone back in 2024. Under the provincial housing mandates, almost every lot in this entire neighborhood is now legally open to multi-unit development. The choice we're facing isn't no change versus this project. The choice is between uncoordinated housing popping up on every street corner or a professionally designed master plan final phase that completes this vision of Morgan Creek. This is the first and final opportunity to buy a brand new home in this specific community. Once these 10 acres are built out, the Morgan Creek story is done. If you're a current homeowner in an estate or a complex like Wedgwood and you're wondering how this affects your equity, or if you want to be on the insider list for floor plans before the public launch, reach out. The market in South Surrey is always shifting for better or for worse, and you don't want to be the last one to know what's going on in the plans. And if you're still feeling uneasy about these changes, you need to understand what's happening here is actually a blessing compared to what is happening all over the rest of the province. If you're unfamiliar with the landmark zoning changes that were introduced in 2024, you might be surprised to learn that the single-family exclusivity of your street may already be a thing of the past. There is a new reality of density coming to every corner of British Columbia, and it's going to change how we value real estate forever. I'm breaking down exactly what those changes look like and how they will impact your specific street in the video coming up next. And the good news is, it's starting right now. The residents of this neighborhood don't know it yet, but this neighborhood is going to be completely upended over the coming years about new zoning regulations that are taking effect all across British Columbia.